If you've seen my previous video on using Notion as my backend for my personal website or for my blogs and all of the content there, this video is going to be about how I generate the OG images for that. And well, it's kind of related, but not exactly as well. Well, OG images are hard, but I literally made a workflow that makes it really good for generating OG images for literally any web page. And this is how I do it. So my backend is actually using Next.js, and they have like built-in API routes for doing OG images. So if you look into the code here, it's actually scraping all of the, well, this is not the one here, but what I do here is I literally just do a launch a browser using Playwright, and I just screenshot whatever is being on the page right now, which is so cool. You can literally see what's on the website, and that, well, I set the resolution to like a 1280 by 70 resolution so that it looks like that, basically on every platform. And it's literally a one-time script that you run before you actually deploy. So I have a script for that, and it will just essentially run the server and scrape through every single page of all the routes here and take a screenshot of what the current page looks like. And well, as Puppeteer, I'm not Playwright. And it will screenshot that in a resolution of 1200 by 630 here. And it'll save that screenshot in. And I have a route here for the OG images as well that will look at the title, well, the link of the page. Well, I think it's not here actually. It's part of the metadata. If you look at the layout, if you look at here, it's going to site config OG image. So this is built into Next.js as well, called the metadata file. And well, I can dynamically generate the OG images from here. So what it's doing is essentially doing well, if the OG image doesn't exist in the initial generation of like the screenshots and stuff in the public folder, so you can find it here. If we look at OG, you can literally see every single page of the images all here. So if it doesn't exist, it's gonna generate a dynamic one using the built-in Next.js OG image generation endpoint to generate the OG image for that. Otherwise, it will just literally use whatever they have here, which is literally like a preview of whatever that website looks like. So it's pretty cool. If I were to copy this blog post here into here, you can literally see how it looks like on all of literally every platform. Well, this website is for previewing OG images in every, well, it looks like it's not, I don't know why is it missing, but it looks like it's, well, this seems a bit fucked. It's doing like the dynamic generation here. I guess like the block one isn't working that well, or maybe it's bugged somewhere. But I guess if you want to do dynamic OG image generation, you can use the Takumi as well. This works with, it is fully built in Rust, so it's pretty fast, and you can use it with Next.js as well. So I think this is new or something. It's 1 year old, and you can plug this into Next.js while not using the built-in Next.js OG image generation. You can do animated GIFs as well, video frames. Holy shit, this is pretty insane. And it's drop-in compatible with Next.OG. So the properties here, well, it's a bunch of different tools that actually can do this. But like the problem is, it's all dynamic and you need to pay for the service because they need to do the compute as well to produce the images for all of them. You can either use the dynamic OG images, but what I did was essentially just screenshot the live preview of what each website is, and I use that as the preview. That's like literally the easiest one. But you can definitely design each page to be its own different OG image as well, but that definitely takes a lot more work. And this is, but like there's a caveat with this, because like the way this works, you need to generate the script and run the script before you deploy. So because how my backend works, if you look at one of my previous videos on how I use Notion as my backend, all of my blog posts come from Notion, and I use it as my main CMS here. So if I were to add new blog posts in a current deployment that's outdated, it will be a new blog post that can appear on the website, but it wouldn't have any OG images, which is why there's a fallback here for this one here. But I don't know why this is the case because it's pretty much here. So by right, it should be able to, well, it's not, I think that's why it's not here. Wait, it is here. It is indeed here, so I don't know what's going on here. But definitely there's a caveat with this because if every time you make a new blog post, if you do something like that with me using Notion as my CMS and backend here, you really don't have a choice but to redeploy to have the new images, which is good that you have a fallback like what I did, so that those new blog posts will have OG images as well. And you can use Takumi for that as well. But I decided I have not migrated yet because I just recently found this. So it works well because you literally get a glimpse of what the website looks like. And it's more useful than literally just generate generic OG images of how it might look like. Like every website has, well, it's basically some sort of like a thumbnail for like YouTube videos, but for like websites instead. I guess there's a similarity there. And yeah, it's using Playwright and Puppeteer for that. Definitely you need to always rebuild and have a fallback for it. And you can automate it in CI/CD as well. But the problem is you need to deploy it. So there's still the same issue there. But thankfully it's good because it's free. You don't have to pay for an external service. And what is good that I'm doing with my Notion CMS here, I guess you don't really need it if you are doing like, well, you have a backend. But because I'm using Notion as my CMS and a backend here, it makes more sense for me to do this way when I'm actually dynamically, well, it's more of a static generation of the OG images that I'm doing once for all the pages here. And that's how I basically do all of my OG images so far. It's pretty cool. You can adopt this if you want. The source code is all open source and you can see how I do it, and maybe you wanna, well, this is like literally like the homepage preview as well. So if you're interested, definitely do check out my repo for reference if you wanna try. Well, the script is all there as well. So, well, the stack is in Next.js. So if you're using something else like 10 stack start, the workflow might be a bit different, but the general concept is still the same. You can literally just ask an agent to reference my repo here and build it for you. But definitely I see a lot of value in using a live preview of how the website looks like as an OG image. It's way better than just generic blank thumbnails that don't really say much about the website. It's way better to do it this way.